So let me teach you about the number one mental trick that will force you to be consistent. I'm not talking about intensity. I'm not talking about being consistent for one day in the whole year and then going back to your old ways and your old habits. I am talking about the most sustainable form of consistency. Look, if the pain of the way you're living right now is greater than the pain of making the change, then you will make the change. You're always going to go to the opposite side of the side that has the most pain involved. So if you've identified your dream outcome and the life you know you want to live, and you understand that the alternative, the other life, is so painful and it's the worst of the worst, then discipline is not going to be that bad in comparison to the alternative of the life you know you don't want to live. Think about this. You have person A and you have person B. Person B has a good life because they became disciplined, they were consistent, and they worked towards building the life. And then you have person A who's not disciplined, not consistent, and doesn't have the dream life that they know they want to live. When you can really understand that being person B is all you want in this world, all you want to do is become this person that has a life that you want. And when you realize that it's not okay to be the other person, to be person A, who doesn't have the life, who's not disciplined and not consistent. When you create severe mental consequences to not being consistent, that is when you be consistent. I've aligned my identity over the last 2 years with just, forcing myself to be consistent because I know there is no other way. I know that the videos aren't going to make themselves. The books aren't going to read themselves. The pages are not going to journal themselves. The YouTube videos that are educational, they're not going to watch themselves. Things are not going to complete themselves. The tasks that I have to do are all waiting for me to do them. Nobody's going to come and hold my hand and tell me, okay, it's all going to be okay. Let's do them together. No, that's not how it works. In the real world, you know how it works? If you don't do these tasks, if you don't do the things you need to do to grow, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't read the books, if you don't journal, if you don't study, if you don't work on your craft, if you don't spend time building something, what is going to happen is in 5 years, you are going to get left behind. It doesn't matter how intelligent or talented you were, you're going to get left behind if you don't do the work that is required of you. And when you understand how severe it is, when you don't do the things you have to do, the consequences, the feedback, how your life is going to turn out. If you just don't do what you need to do, if you're not disciplined, not consistent, how bad your life will be in 5 years. Because if you do the hard things, you're going to live an easy life. And if you do the easy things, you're going to live a hard life. You need to understand that. You need to not just think about it, but you need to feel it. You need to understand that it's as true as anything else. Because without this, it's going to be infinitely harder to just stick to your goals and work towards being consistent. Consistency is the number one thing it's the only thing that matters. Consistency is everything. And that is why you need to allow yourself to understand why it is so important to be consistent and why it is so dangerous to be inconsistent. So if you're interested in building your dream life, mastering focus, productivity, and digital discipline, then I've created a system that I've used that has helped me in so many ways. And I've linked it in the description, so check it out. I'm Dan. I make videos like these every single day. If you like this video, definitely subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.